So, dude, you're digging yourself a hole. First off, Troy, Kenny Capen is typing about Troy. Is that harassment? Doesn't have a son named Kevin, it's Jason. You don't know what you're talking about and who you're talking about, and you better watch your mouth. Man, posting where people's houses are on YouTube. You're the one that's harassing people. You shouldn't be doing this. Kenny Capen does live on Vallejo. He lives on Vallejo Trail. He lives at the back end of Vallejo Trail. And, he lives to the right-hand side. It's public information. I guarantee you that Kenny Capen gets a whole bunch of mail asking to buy his land. He's got 5 acres at the end of Vallejo on the right-hand side. And I got a bunch of questions for you, Kenny Capen. If this is really Kenny Capen, I mean, you can't tell on the internet, right? But I've been getting harassed for quite some time, and you're my stalker, right? So you're at least my internet stalker. Right? Probably. So, I'm just going to mention 2 things. Freedom of speech, also harassment. I'm not harassing anybody. I'm trying to figure out who murdered my dog, who's been doing drive-by shootings, who's been doing the arsons, who's been doing all the crimes in Costilla County. I'm the guy that's against the crimes. I'm the guy that's against the crimes. Who the hell are you? I'm the guy that's against criminal. I'm against hurting other people. No, listen, another thing. I stay here and I walk my dogs, so I'm actually, 50 miles away? I'm freaking 50 miles away, and I walk my dogs, and I type on my computer, and then I eat something, and then I, drank something, and then I go to sleep, and then I wake up and do it again. Walk my dogs, type on my computer, eat, sleep, repeat. I don't go to Costilla County. I moved. I still own property there, but I essentially don't stay there because who the hell, I'm supposed to just sit there and let people just keep on freaking drive by and shooting at and murder my dogs and fucking all that shit? No, I'm not like you pieces of shit. I'm not gonna fucking just sit there and let you motherfuckers do that shit. And since the damn court system, no, I'm not gonna just, just, you want me to sit there and just keep on taking notes as you, murder my puppy? And I don't want to do that. I want to live in a world where you're not murdering people's puppies and you're not a bunch of criminal pieces of shit trying to cover that shit up. That's what I want. And this video here is my confirmation is that it's Troy's water truck. And so this is a piece of evidence. Why do I suspect that Troy is, I'm 85% sure that Troy Zen is the one that killed my dog. And why am I 85% sure? Well, a whole bunch of things. There's 2 white males. They turn up Seminole, so they're local, right? They turned up Seminole and went up G, and they went right to his house. Now, it's possible they could have kept on going, but it came from that direction. It went back to that direction. Noble Havens goes over to that direction, comes back, and then says he talked to the guy, and that the guy had said that it was all, it's all good in the hood. It's all kosher. Nah, it's cool, bro. No, it's not cool. Yeah, it is. I remember I asked Noble Haven, oh my goodness, I can't believe Noble Havens is being so fucking brazen with his fucking lies. When he was there, he's like, yeah, I see the swerve. But apparently it's his buddy, and so he's going to protect his buddy, and the whole system has been protecting his buddy. And, part of this is you're allowing these other pilots, maybe, he's got the greatest, but do you know Robert Pickrell? Do you know frickin' Phil Greeny? Do you know, the green blazer piece of shit? Do you know these other people that have moved in there? They were newbies. They're not going to do any of the laws when it comes to planning and zoning. So you might think that you're protecting your buddy, but your buddy is sitting there protecting all this other fucking crazy ass bullshit. But I'm not going to try to, psychologize them and why they do what they do. They got a crush on me. They want to get to know me. It's not the best way. It'd been easy to have won me over. Just been kind to me. For 40 years, nobody really tried that route. Maybe y'all could try that route. Try being kind. Because that's what I've been doing. I've been getting burnt. But my God, I sure as hell want to feel like I defend and fight for the kind people, the humble, the meek. They're supposed to inherit the earth. Are they not? So if that is Kenny Capen, I got a whole bunch of questions for you. How come you did a drive-by shooting at me? How come you and Robert Pickrell did a drive-by shooting at me? Kenny Capen, if that is you, I mean, it's quite incredible. Think about this. So these piles of shit, they're going to drive by, do, actual drive-by shootings, do spotlighting. They're going to do harassing, stop and go, just drive by my house, drive around, just kind of some petty stuff. But then also, they also murdered my dog. So felony, animal cruelty, felony menacing. So they're going to do all these crimes. And then when I say, hey, these crimes happened to me and it's bullshit, and here's the people that I suspect happening, they're going to shit a brick and act like I'm harassing them. But let's be honest. Let's assume, okay, let's give Troy Zinn all the benefit of the doubt. Okay, he had nothing to do with it, doesn't know anything about anything. Even O.J. Simpson was sitting there saying, let's go after the real killers. You could say, hey, sorry you lost your dog. Here's an apple. Here's a banana cream pie. Here's a, blueberry pie. Here's a pizza, a 4-meat pizza that I'm delivering in, right hot in the box here. Sorry this happened to you. We'll keep an eye out, and if any other crazy ass shit happens, we'll make sure we let you know. That's what, Christians would do. That's what good Southern hospitality people would do. So I don't know what kind of piles of shit these motherfuckers are, but they didn't try to be kind. And I tried to be kind to every single one of them. I'm going to say, Kenny Capen never got a chance to be kind to him, but he started being friends with Robert Pickrell, and then they started fucking around with me. So I don't know why they were being assholes. Robert Pickrell definitely knew about my dog getting killed, and he's going to post, he's defending Troy Zinn, and I heard that he and Kenny and Troy didn't like each other. So it's interesting that Kenny would be defending him, but it's even more interesting. The reason why they don't want me to speak is because they don't want the truth to come out. Kenny Capen doesn't want people to know that him and Robert Pickrell was driving in a truck and they were flashing a spotlight at my dogs because they like to provoke people in the middle of the fucking night. And while they were sitting there doing a strobe light, flashing a light at my dogs, I had fired a warning shot. He drives up the road and then he fires a bunch of shot at me. I fired a warning shot up into the air. He's fucking shooting motherfucking shots at me. This was intentional. They were side by side. It was definitely Robert Pickrell. Now, was it definitely Kenny Capen? I'm 95% sure it's Kenny Capen because Kenny kept on driving around that white truck. Several days he kept on coming back, and every time he was over there acting like a fucking asshole. Robert said it was Kenny, the guy that kept driving back and forth, and maybe he thought he met a fucking friend or something. It does seem precarious, too, that you had 3 people that, just moved in when Tecumseh got killed. And I'm going to give some people a pass. I'm going to give some of the new people a pass. Not Robert Pickrell, though. I'm not going to give Robert Pickrell a pass. No fucking way. No fucking way. Basically, it's, I'm not going to live in a community that's got Robert Pickrell. He's fucking spotlighting me. He's already done a drive-by. He was a passenger, and Kenny Capen was a driver and the shooter. So he's, at the very least, aiding and abetting, felony menacing, harassing, and aiding and abetting what? Attempted murder? They want to fuck with my dogs in the middle of the night, doing a little spotlight, little, one of them little flashing spotlight, one of those little, that's what they, that's what get their jollies off. They're like, hey, it's Friday night. I'm like, hey, everybody, let's organize and make sure we all have food and water and shelter. And they're like, hey, let's go harass some puppies. So, yeah, that's the biggest thing that Kenny Capen doesn't want to know. He doesn't want you to know that he's tried to kill me at least 1, if not 2 or 3 or 4 times. He doesn't want you to know the truth. He is scared of the truth. Oh my God, he is terrified of the truth. That's the thing that he is. So that's incredible, isn't it? Somebody tried to fucking murder your dog, and then they're, doing illegal water delivery. So we know Troy Zinn sells water illegally, drives by people's houses. He could have drove down a Como or Bannock or Cherokee or War Eagle. He had 4 different roads. Could have gone down G, down Seminole. Could have gone, around Galapagos or Gallegos. But he has to drive right in front of my house every frickin' time. Every frickin' time. And, if he's not the one, like I said, I'm 85% sure Troy Zinn is the one that murdered my dog. It was a local person. It was 2 white males. And maybe it's Kenny Capen. And then he's sitting there saying the guy's name is Jason. And just real quick, like on, basically, Kevin or Jason, if he was the passenger, the only, I don't hate the guy. Actually, I think he might be okay if it's the same guy, Kevin, Jason, whoever's in. He was over there with Daniel at Xana's McDonald's house, and he had like 5 knives, and they were sitting there just bantering back and forth about bartering. He was like, can I trade this for this? Can I trade this for that? And they were laughing. Daniel with his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and I had lost my dog, so I had knocked on their door, and so if that's not, and then also, I'm not, it's Troy that's the one that drove over my dog, and it's Troy that's, right, he's the fat, short, dumb-looking motherfucker, like a short, there's a couple videos. So I'm not harassing. I'm not waking up every day saying I'm going to harass. What I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out a case. I'm trying to stop some crimes. And what I noticed is every time that I go to court, as long as we at least, made some progress, as long as we took a step forward, we talked about this, we talked about that, we'll work on this, okay, postpone it for another day, continuance. But essentially, as long as the case was progressing forward, something had got done. And so now I have 5 felony complaints that I'm working on other people that have committed felonies. I'm working on compiling the evidence. I've already turned them in. I also have 5 planning and zoning complaints that I turned in. And I'm thinking about doing some other ones, but it's all going to be totally public, so that way you know exactly what I am. Some people get a pass. Some people get a pass. But the people that are responsible for murdering my dog and then covering it up and then, carrying on with the insanity as if y'all had nothing to do with it, no, I'm not going to give that a pass. So yeah, to Kenny Capen or Troy Zinn, if y'all have any information about, who, if it's not you two, who killed my dog? And if it's not you two, how come you guys weren't worried? Even O.J. Simpson was after the real killers. You didn't care that it had happened to me. You didn't say you're going to keep an eye out for nothing. You were just basically put your head in the sand, pretend like it didn't happen. And a lot of shit happens. Nobody asks any questions. A lot of major shit happens. I remember when there was, the 3rd or 4th arson that was happening. After the 3rd or 4th arsoning that was happening, it was kind of like, how come nobody around here, says, hey, this is crazy. It's out of hand. Let's make sure this stops. No lawful people. Everybody just kind of hiding in their houses. So I just want to start off with that. I got a whole bunch more things I want to talk about. So yeah, to Kenny Capen, I think it's crazy. I'm not harassing anybody. If anything, I've moved 50 miles away. Just, you guys are scared of a boogeyman. If you're afraid about that video was September 17th, 2021. That's double jeopardy. You can't just keep on, charging me for the same. And also, it was Mr. Canty. Mr. Canty is the person that's the complaint, and he's the one that's pressing charges. So it has nothing to do with Capen or, Troy or frickin' Pickerel or whatever. But insanity. It's basically Anne Frank. They would arrest Anne Frank, who, Nazis would, right? And they'll ignore everything that the Nazis did. They'll ignore every single drive-by shooting, every single puppy murder, every single spotlighting, harassing, stopping and going, every single crime. And Anne Frank, remember when she got mad at her mother that one time? Getting mad isn't illegal. And why would you ignore all the major crimes of the fucking Nazis who's going to kill Anne Frank? Why would you fucking ignore the crimes of the Nazis who killed Anne Frank? Now, you know who would have a problem with being identified with killing Anne Frank? It'd be the Nazis who did that. Apparently there was another Jewish person who had turned in Anne Frank's family. And they were making a big deal about how it looks like it's just, is a Jewish person against Jewish person. And I'm not I don't care about religion, but I'm also not Hitler, so be religious, people. I've been tolerating religious people. I live in America. I've been tolerating motherfucking religious people the whole goddamn time. And actually, Israel means struggles with God. That makes more sense to me than some invisible man in the cloud just smiling down on us. Struggles with God. So in a way, that's, the name Israel makes me think more things in Christianity. So we'll come back to this. But the 10-step procedure, the 10-step criminal procedure for Colorado is arrest or summons, bail bond hearing, advisement of charges, preliminary hearing, disposition hearing, arraignment, motions hearing, pretrial readiness conference, jury trial, and sentencing. I want to mention actually a couple more things about Kenny Capen, because let's assume he's the internet stalker too. So not only are they doing these stupid drive-bys, and I'm 50 miles away, but they're still fucking with me, which is quite incredible. But some of the things that they have been saying, I had asked the question, well, if this isn't the way it is, then how come I'm saying it like this? And there's like, because you're crazy and you're looking for attention. You're crazy and you're looking for attention. Motherfucker, if I could just find a place where I could just work on my book and not have to deal with any of you assholes for the rest of my life. Just type on my book, just read book, just walk my dogs, work on my book, read books, do some typing, and eat a good meal every once in a while. That sounds like a nice life to me. Anyways, I'm going to raise my kids in an abuse-free household, in a crime-free neighborhood, in a civil society. Whether all you motherfuckers are against that. Whether every one of you bastards like it or not. Incredible. That's how I know there's a lack of progressives in America. Anyways.